So, this is our first attempt at a video for Horror Junkies of Utah. I'm Marcus Swainston.
Eddie Grass.
Craig Steeler.
Alright, so tonight, we're talking about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre reboot, remake, versions.
Not Texas Chainsaw 3D, that was garbage.
That was garbage. Anyways,
And
so...
we're talking about the prequel, because
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning, is considered a prequel.
So, but basically, let's just get started with our general overall thoughts of both movies. I'll let Eddie start this off.
Personally, I like Texas Chainsaw Massacre the most. What I found with Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning is they wanted to try to go even more to extremes with the gore and try to overdo it and try to overconquer what they had success with Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
So you thought that the beginning went a little too
They were just
over the top?
Yeah, they were just trying to go like not torture porn. I mean, it's just when they went with it, the torture parts in the movie, they just try to overdo it. They just were trying to make it even more shocking than the first one, and I found that it took away from the movie more than it helped it.
Now, this is an interesting fact. I'm sitting here on IMDb. Both movies score a very low IMDb score. You got 6.2 for Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the remake,
5.9
on the beginning. I think personally both of those movies did a little bit better than that.
Yeah.
I like the beginning. The thing I don't like about the beginning though was I think they tried too hard to make it, this shocking movie like you said. But the thing I don't like the most is the character development.
Yeah.
In the 2003 version, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the remake, the character development is there. You get a lot of personable moments and stuff. In the beginning, it was just very... I never felt attached to any character.
And what I found the problem with the beginning is, first time it's here, it's like this crazy killer kills the butcher manager and everything, kills everybody, and then it gets, I think it's right after the middle of the movie, his uncle Hewitt, the sheriff, he's all telling Thomas, trying to encourage him to kill and stuff when you've already set the point of he's a madman killer, Why would he have to need that push to do something,
You're talking about the part where you have that biker guy?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, where he's like, do it!
Yeah, and it's just kind of like, Thomas already knows what he's doing. He likes what he does. Why would the uncle have to encourage him to kill when he's already slaughtered people left and right?
What are your thoughts on the two movies?
The thing I like better about the 2003 version, the beginning, it just never had any suspense. It kind of feels more like an action movie, to be honest. The 2003 version, it just had much more terror and suspense, and you were actually like engaged in it.
Yeah, that's very true. Like
it feels like an action movie, huh?
The part where in the remake, she's like in that meat locker, or not meat locker, but she's in that meat company, hiding in that locker, like the employee locker. That's horrifying. Like, I see what you mean. Like, the remake had way more suspense and just nail-biting moments where the beginning, in my opinion, was just kind of like, he's fucking dead, and exactly what Eddie was saying, like, the whole point where The boyfriend goes on the table. You guys remember that part?
Yeah.
It was just very like, how much blood can we put into this
Yeah.
thing? And there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
But at what point do you say like, okay, this is no longer horror? I mean, this is no longer scaring me. It's just very horrifying. Like,
yeah, and I mean, in the beginning, they want to go really over top where they're in that like, kind of like not really a horse corral, more kind of a butcher area. Is when Leatherface takes his chainsaw and puts it in that guy's stomach, lifts him up off the ground, and throws him.
Yeah.
It's just like they were just trying so hard to push the limits that they didn't need to do it, you know? If it's not broken, don't try to change it.
Exactly.
I find that happens a lot in horror movies where they overthink it and they just want to try to over top their first film.
True. The directors on both the films, different. You had Marcus Nispel, who did the first one.
Well, interesting note, Marcus Nispel, he's the guy that also directed the Friday the 13th remake.
He did, yeah. He's actually, he's done a couple horror movies. I watched the making of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and he's a really interesting character.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about the director of the 2006 version.
Yeah, I know
Lisbon?
I know all about Jonathan Leesman. Let me tell you, this is the only decent movie he's made.
Really?
This guy is the one who made Battle Los Angeles, the terrible
I can see
teenage,
that. And Ninja Turtles.
the one from
Oh God, yeah.
This-
So obviously he's very in.
he's an action.
No, but who would he be with? I mean, if
Michael Bay.
Yep, there you go. Because we all know very well, Platinum Dunes,
Yeah.
Michael
the
Bay.
company that makes all these remakes, is Michael Bay's company,
Yeah.
Platinum Dunes. They did both of these, if I'm not mistaken, and they've done almost every mainstream horror 80s slasher remake out there.
Yeah. I like the fact that they had Andrew Brinsky play Leatherface because he took the role very serious. He was proud and honored to take the role, especially wanting to honor what Gunnar Hansen did in the original.
Are you talking about the 2003 version?
2003 and 2006.
He played both?
Yes, he played Leatherface in both.
Okay, let's talk real quick then. Which version of Leatherface was more terrifying to you? The 2003 or the 2006 version?
I
Which one was more-
find that 2003 was a lot more. It was more terrifying in the 2003 version. He knew exactly what he wanted and what he was doing, and he fed off the evil that was inside him. In the 2000s, in the prequel,
He
was just very hesitant on what he was doing.
He was kind of an errand boy in the prequel, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and what I didn't like about the prequel is they tried to almost have the sheriff outshadow Leatherface, make the sheriff more evil and more fucked up than Leatherface was, And it's like, how are you doing that? I mean, I understand you got a guy that has played in so many iconic roles, like in Full Metal Jacket and stuff, but I mean, you're trying to have him take a role.
Arlie Emery.
Yeah, so I mean, he's
Jesus
alright.
Christ, I mean, that guy's like, he takes his roles very seriously. And,
Yeah. But I mean, I find with the prequel that he was trying to overtake the film.
Okay. I actually, so would you say the same thing that you liked Leatherface from the 2003 version?
Oh yeah, he's terrifying.
I actually like Leatherface more in the 06 version. I think visually he was done better in 2003, but in the New Beginning, or The Beginning, it just seemed he was very young and very ruthless and just, I don't know, like, if that makes any sense, but he was less professional and more just like, I'm gonna fuck shit up.
What I like about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the fact that when they had some iconic images, like when you first see Leatherface come out and pull the door open, you're like, holy shit!
Yeah.
This dude's a beefy motherfucker, and he's
At the
just
same
like-
time, with the beginning, with shut up.
And also too, what I like is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre version. Is I like where he comes out and the girl is shocked that he's wearing her boyfriend's face. That was like, holy shit, that's pretty brutal.
That was pretty brutal.
So I mean, overall, I think they did a great job with both movies, but with the prequel, they just went way overboard on the gore.
You know what I just thought about? You guys were talking about the gore. The 2003 version, aside from the girl, putting the gun in her mouth and blowing her brains out,
Yeah.
that's like the only gory scene in the whole movie. You realize that? I mean,
What about the scene where he's running through the laundry?
what
The
was
sheets
that?
and everything, he gets his fucking leg cut off. That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what I really like about the prequel though is when Leatherface takes the meat hook and he slams into that girl's shoulder, part of her shoulder, and pulls her out of the truck
Yeah.
and throws her on the ground. That was a pretty brutal scene. That was pretty well done, and it wasn't over the top.
What do you guys think of our main female actors in both movies?
Jessica Biel.
You thought Jessica Biel?
Yeah, Jessica Biel did a good job. In the prequel, it's just like, you have Jordana Brewster that's played in Fast and Furious, and you just kind of like keep thinking about Fast and Furious to me.
You know what? You just mentioned that. I'm looking at her now, and I'm like, I did not know that was her.
That's news to me too.
I know, but now I'm looking at her, and I'm like, holy fucking shit, that is her.
Yeah. And
I think Jessica Biel was way more in character and better at it.
Yeah, she was definitely.
But I think we're all just thinking about the sex appeal too. I mean, out of the two women, which one's hotter?
Jessica Biel is definitely more hotter.
I mean, that whole scene where she's walking across that field.
Yeah.
In that kind of little bit of slow-mo, yeah.
Yeah.
And actually,
Jessica Biel's younger. I don't know that.
no, she's older. No, she is younger. Right. Anyways, so
I found that Pepper was kind of annoying in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I was just like, please, Leatherface, kill this bitch already.
which movie had the bigger budget? I'm gonna say the prequel
The
did.
prequel.
right?
Because of all the gore
Because the
and
second-
action scenes
well,
and stuff
Well,
like that.
what were the budgets?
They
then? I mean,
base it off of what it does in the movie theater, so then they base off what the budget's in the second one. The first one was about a $10 million budget. The budget for the prequel was around $16 million. And so, I mean, they base it, with all movies, they see how the first one does, and then they'll either increase the budget or keep the same budget or even shorten the budget. I've seen that happen in movies too.
interesting enough, I just looked up
If I didn't know you, oh, go ahead, sorry.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D, and I'm looking for its budget. Go ahead while I look.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say the 2003 version probably is the had the best box office numbers out of all of them.
I don't know that
No, because
offhand.
I mean, because you can't count the original, because the original had a lot of issues with distributions, and there was a lot of...
What did you say? You said that the beginning had the bigger budget, right?
Yes.
And what I'm looking at right now is it's estimated, but the box office, not the box office, but the budget for 3D,
Mhm.
the Texas Chainsaw 3D, which was the worst out of all. Well, not the worst. We all know what
Yeah.
one's the worst.
Yeah.
Regeneration or whatever the fuck that movie was called.
Yeah.
Anyways, so, but 10 million is the budget estimated for 3D, and you said
The budget for Texas Chainsaw Massacre was 10 million. It was right around
the
10 million.
remake.
Yeah.
And what about the prequel?
The prequel was 16 million.
Okay, so out of the 3 movies, the prequel had the biggest budget.
Yeah.
Now, let's see here. I'm just curious about this. Opening weekend for 3D made 21 million. Almost 22 million. And it grossed 34 million. Meaning its last day in theaters was the 22nd of February, and its first day was the 4th of January.
Yeah. See, you know what happened with that Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D? They saw how well the reboot did and how the prequel did. Because, I mean, you look at the prequel, it even made...
I don't
made,
think
like,
it had
20
anything in common with any of the other. I'm looking, and I don't think actors. Well, obviously not actors. That's
Well, what I'm
but
saying is they want to...
writers and directors and producers are not even existent.
Yeah.
They are
so-
very common with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre in the beginning, but 3D, it's I don't even think
No,
it's the
what I'm
same
trying to
company.
say is they just trying to capitalize on the
Oh
cash
yeah,
cow of
I mean
Texas
that's
Chainsaw
what they
Massacre.
do.
They saw how well the prequel and the reboot did, and they were like, well, let's capitalize on this, especially when the rights of Texas Chainsaw Massacre came up again for purchase. And so, I mean, the guy went and even the guy, if you watch the making of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D, what he was trying to do is he already planned out to wanting to make 8 more movies for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so I mean he's just like, you know, he was the wrong person to get the rights, and I mean he just totally just dragged it through the mud.
Yeah.
I mean honestly, I mean you have the pig dude from Saw and I mean Lionsgate, they're either you hate it or you like it.
Did
you know?
Lionsgate produce?
I don't know if they produced. Lionsgate was the distributor for it.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. They're
So they're like, let's throw the Saw pig guy in there just for shits and giggles, you know?
I don't remember that. When did that happen?
In the carnival scene where Leatherface throws his chainsaw at the girl and it's coming. What they originally planned was the chainsaw was supposed to cut the pig kid, because it's a small kid that plays the pig from Saw. That was supposed to actually cut the kid in half and kill the kid, but
So a little like
Yeah.
Easter egg type
Yeah.
stuff. Well, Lionsgate makes some good movies, and then
Yeah,
they make some
Lionsgate,
bad.
it's
it's hit or miss with them.
yeah, I
Very
mean,
much
Lionsgate,
so.
their movies, it's either you love them or you hate them. Each one has its different cup of tea.
Out of the 2 movies, which one do you think the family was portrayed better in?
You know, I find with the reboot, the family was portrayed a lot better.
In the prequel, the family was almost non-existent. Like
Well, they're existent.
the dad guy, the only scene I remember him being is one where he gets his legs chopped off. You know what I mean? And the mom, I don't remember her very much.
Well, the dad, he's the tow truck driver, and he ends up picking up those kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I don't know. Like it had an eerie thing to the family in the reboot. I found that the family was a lot more interesting to me in the reboot than the prequel.
I love the little kid Grandma, can I come in now?
No. Yeah,
Um,
that's in the remake, the '03 version.
Yeah.
I'm also looking, and it's funny that both movies were released in October. The remake being '03, and the beginning being '06, 3 years apart.
Yeah.
Do you think horror movies choose to be like people who make horror movies? Do you think they choose for them to be made and released in October for?
Nah, I think
make
it's
money
their-
off
I
it, or
think
do you
I
think
think
it's-
it's sure strictly the distributors and the companies backing the movie because
They want it released
yeah,
though, in October.
Yeah,
right?
because it's a cash guy, you know. Because everybody wants to go see a horror movie during October, you know.
Not only that, but they don't want to release it during the summer because then they're competing with the big blockbuster movies like all the action and superhero movies and stuff like
That's
that.
true. That's true. Mainly, you see your big action movies come out in the summer,
Mhm.
and you have your horror movies in the fall.
Yeah.
Fall,
And
spring,
I don't know what winter produces.
Disney movies.
Yeah, family friendly movies.
Unless you watch the actual real Jack Frost before that stupid.
Oh, that horror movie one. That sucked. Anyways, so to wrap it all up, out of the two, which one did you enjoy more?
I enjoyed Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the reboot, a lot more than the prequel. The prequel had its good points and stuff, but I was kind of, when I watched the prequel, I was like, man, they could have done so much better with this prequel instead of just trying to go for what they went for.
And you, Craig?
Yeah, definitely the 2003 version. It's just like what I was saying earlier. The prequel, it's fun. It's an interesting movie, well paced, but it just feels more like an action movie. And the 2003 version was actually terrifying. And
And I would have to probably swing the same way. I thought it was just overall, visually, cinematically, I mean, even the sound and the soundtrack that they put out to it was just classic. I mean,
Yeah.
the movie's music was just so well done. So I have to choose that one as well.
Alright.
But let's get on an end note here. Favorite death scene from those movies? I mean, there's a lot of them.
out of each one, or
Well,
just total?
All
just
if we add
scene.
them all up, what scene was like?
All the Texas Chainsaws, or just
No,
the-
just
No,
those
just
two.
these.
There's almost lots to choose from.
What about you, Eddie? You got one? He's got one. He's laughing.
Probably my favorite death scene is probably in the
Okay.
probably when the Leatherface gets the girl in the car and he puts the chainsaw right through the seat.
That's
Oh, at
in
the
the
end?
beginning.
Yeah.
The very end.
Yeah.
You don't see it coming because obviously.
Well,
That was
But,
a good
hey!
scene.
one thing I gotta say about the scene, what the fuck? Who can start a chainsaw
Yeah.
with one pole?
Yeah, it's like-
And in a car,
I
but
understand,
he's
but it's a
strong.
movie.
It was awesome. It was an awesome kill, but Jesus, I tried to start a chainsaw.
I
It
just-
takes like 80 pulls.
I just don't know how she didn't see him in the back seat. He's not a small guy, is
Yeah,
he?
sorry, but it was a very cool kill.
Yeah.
Did you think of yours?
Yeah. Honestly, it was actually in the beginning as well. When they swerve to avoid the cow or whatever, and they roll the car, and the biker chick comes up, and then Sheriff Hoyt pulls up, and all of a sudden he's pulled out a shotgun, and boom, and she flies like 10 feet. Then you don't see
It's
that.
not even done by Leatherface.
And
It's just
Yeah.
I just thought that was cool as hell. It's hard to explain, but
Alright, your turn.
my favorite one, and I forget the character's name, but it's actually from the reboot. and they're running from Leatherface, and then they get stuck in the house.
Oh, okay.
That house, and they put the couch up against the door.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy with the glasses.
Yep. I can't remember the character's name. Save my ass. I want to say Franklin. That's from the original.
No, I think it's.
Sally.
Yeah, but you know that's what he was supposed to be portraying. I mean, they didn't
Yeah.
copy any of the characters fully, but if I was going to put
Kemper.
Yeah, Kemper, that was it.
No, Kemper's the name of the boyfriend.
No,
No,
it's not.
Kemper
It's
is
Kemper.
in there.
Nope,
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
How much you want to bet? You want to put
$20.
$20?
You're going to lose $20 because he just looked it up on his fucking computer.
Kemper's the name of the boyfriend.
No. It's not. You were wrong. I'm looking at it right now. You don't even have to look it up, dude. Look at his fucking computer. You lost.
That's the freaking boyfriend, you idiot.
Oh, you just lost $20.
Alright.
Alright, Eddie owes Craig $20, and I feel like an idiot. 'Cause
Well, I give him a whole bunch of
What's-
crystals for.
What's his name?
Shouldn't even ask.
I don't even know. Now
What's
I'm
his name?
feeling like an idiot because I went along with Eddie's story and
Yes,
see his
you know
computer
what
screen. I
his story does.
just trusted him.
What the fuck? I thought Kemper was the motherfucker.
Well, our time is up. Whatever his name was,
Kemper, dishbag, whatever.
Eddie will find it sooner or later.
Or I'll go
That's
with
my
it.
favorite scene. He throws him up on the chandelier and saws him up. Anyways,
That is
so
fucking Kemper, you fucking piece of shit.
he's so mad about it, and I'm mad that I went along with it.
What the
Anyways, this is horror movie Junkies of Utah, and I'm Marcus Winston.
Craig
We got-
Seward.
and
Eddie Rask, I'll find who this motherfucker is.
we'll see you guys next time.
Shit, man. I should have